It's that time. The Bright Side Chronicles is about to go down with Kerri and Nana. You ready for the show to begin?
Hey, let's go. Let's get it. It's almost showtime. Let's go. Let's get it. It's almost go time. Let's freaking go.
No, that's
Hey,
it. Let's go.
yeah. What up?
Babe,
What up?
what
What
time
up?
is it?
What time is it?
Yeah.
It's go time. It's go time. What you mean?
I'm asking you because, right now I'm trying to get my bearings together after Ozzy was making his entrance because that's how he
No, I
rolls.
feel you on that. I feel you on that. Well, first and foremost, welcome to the Bright Side Chronicles. And what is the Bright Side Chronicles entails, babe?
Well, the Bright Side Chronicles is a weekly conversation about joy, about ways to tap into joy, about really anything that supports people in living a fully expressed, high vibrational, empowered life in a world where too often we hear division and divisiveness. You and I are passionate about changing the narrative and making sure that people understand that it can feel, be, and look different, and that we can be empowered in joy.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I just love that we're on here today because I feel like I look forward to Thursday nights at 7 because it's like, dude, it's just an hour to just like shoot the stuff, you know what I mean? And sometimes we have guests and sometimes life happens, you know what I mean? Our guest is in Vietnam.
She sure is. Nandar was supposed to be here. We love Miss Nandar.
Yes.
But she was caught up in I think she said monsoon.
Okay. Whole lot of
And
rain.
so she was not able to jump on. So we are here, you and I, having a conversation, which I love. I think it's actually pretty profound because we can kind of talk about how your week, your month is gone,
Oh
and what
God.
we do
Yeah.
to stay grounded in joy and support and happiness when things don't work out accordingly.
Yeah. I mean, what would you like to know? Because I mean, I'm an open book right now, regardless. So
Well,
like,
first off, shout out to Yasmin Lee.
Yo, shut up, shut up.
Appreciate you and your
Yo,
love.
I know Yasmin is hosting a Marvel meetup at Rhode Island Comic Con on
Oh,
Saturday.
well, you need to
Yeah.
send Yasmin the link
Yep.
and tell her to join the show.
Oh no, without a doubt, without a doubt. Like she's putting in work and I love to see it. And I mean, it's gonna be cool to just kind of catch up with her for sure. But let's see. She said, oh man, she's going through tough times. She's going through tough times. But just know that we're here to bring positivity and we'll just keep spreading you so much love if we can, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, so she put Buddy down. So
Yeah.
I don't know who Buddy is, but I'm sending you all love.
It's
Also,
like,
shout out to Bonnie, who,
shout out
by
to
the
Bonnie.
way, when we're talking about positivity, y'all, I met Bonnie in the sauna of the YMCA, and 2 days ago she hit me up and she's like, "Hey, I have all these poblano peppers for you," and I'm like, "Say yes, because homegirl will chef up some poblano peppers when I get them." So,
Yeah. No,
thank you so very much for joining.
shout out to Bonnie, yo. I love the energy that you're putting out there. So keep doing what you're doing, regardless.
Ooh, and then we got Jenna
Yeah.
Knight, who
Huh?
is a Spitfire in Worcester, Massachusetts, speaking up and
What?
against injustice and advocating for
Shout
people
out.
who need support in the
Shout out.
ADHD community. She initiated a I think it's like a day, ADHD day, where the mayor came down and like
Shout
made
out.
it an honor. Yeah. So she's driven and she's working towards her master's or doctorate. I think it's doctorate. I don't even know. While
Hey,
supporting people. So shout out to you. And
we love to see this. We love to see this.
we
Like
do
this is
love
what it
to
should be
see this.
about. This is what it should be about.
So, okay, with
Yes.
that, babe, I love that it's just you and me because I know you very well. We talk a lot. You know
Just a
what
little bit. Only on Wednesday nights. No, I'm just kidding.
I know. Only.
No, I'm just kidding.
So here's the thing about you and I. We're both very driven individuals. We're driven to achieve results in
Mhm.
different areas of our life, right? I'm all about
Absolutely.
neuroscience, quantum physics, vibration, light, all that stuff. And
Mhm.
you have a couple of things that you're very goal oriented about:
Yeah.
fitness, your career as
Cosplay as
an
well too.
educator in
Yeah.
car sales, and a cosplayer. And we both hold ourselves accountable to, really putting in the effort, but sometimes that effort doesn't culminate in visual results, which is
Yeah.
the case for you this month, where
Mhm.
kind of continued to bump up against challenges that you don't always have to navigate. So tell me, with your month ending tomorrow, and you always shooting for 20, and that's a goal that
Mhm.
you may not reach, how do you stay positive despite circumstances not working out the way you think they need to?
Mm. First and foremost, great question. I think my thing going into this month, I knew it was going to be a challenge, only being because I was going to be out for some time, right? So I had New York Comic Con for about 5 days. I was in New York from what, the 9th to the 14th or something like that. And so going into the month, I just was like, you know what? If I can just salvage as much as I can and be present whilst I'm at work, that's all I
Mhm.
can do, right? And so left when I went to New York, I had like two cars out, maybe if at that, and which I was grateful for because it was like very, very just a weird month of it being very slow in the beginning. So then I come back and I'm like at like four cars on like the, I don't know, it was like damn near the 15th of the month or whatever. And I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be interesting. So like in my head, I'm thinking, how do I keep staying positive despite these challenges that I was gonna get, put towards me? And my thing that came about was just like, dude, I just gotta just keep swinging for the fences. And I can, lock in as in like just be laser focused, but I can also be positive and laser focused. And it sometimes does come off as a different, you know, viewpoint. But my thing was that, like, you know what? Not every month I can shoot for 20. I can shoot for 20 every month, but it's not guaranteed that it's going to be like that because I can't control what the market is looking like. All I can control is how I come into work, and that's the biggest thing is just education when it comes down to it. But I mean, positivity wise, I just been talking about what's going on with you, with coworkers, and just like even friends around the industry because it's not only at the dealership, it's a lot of things going. People are a little nervous to spend more money because of just uncertainty of life right now. And I understand that. I have coworkers that are doing amazing. So like shout out to the ones that are doing amazing. I got to give them credit because they've been putting in work all month. And I mean, it's definitely a tricky month. And I don't want to say like it's a bad month because I don't think there's really a bad month. I think there's challenging or more challenging months that there are. But at the same time, I can't make excuses and be like, oh man, like poor me. Like I'm not gonna that's never no. Like I just can't fathom the idea. But I'd rather go down swinging than just quitting and be like, oh man, let me just give up. Like that's not even in me. Like the whole quitting thing, like that's not gonna be a thing. So tomorrow being the end of the month, I'm wearing SpongeBob, which is actually really exciting. So like that's gonna be cool. So we'll see if we can bring some cheer and put some magic out there to try to get to at least 13, and I'll be thankful for it.
Oh my God, you'll get 13 on Friday. Friday number 13. Yo, that's
It's the
and
31st.
making
It's
it
the
on
31st.
Halloween with the flip
Yeah.
reverse.
The
Oh,
universe
see,
is it's all lining up. That's why
yo, the
I'm like,
universe is funny.
yeah. So I'm like, you know what? Whatever. It's just I'm gonna go into work and I'm gonna be wearing all yellow. So like, I'm like
Black and
actually
yellow,
I'm
black and
actually more
yellow,
I'm
black.
actually more excited
Sorry.
to wear the SpongeBob outfit because it's at work. You know what I mean? I'm trying to debate if I should wear the t-shirt or if I just wear the tank. So I'm
Tank
just the
all
tank.
day, baby. The people want to see the tank. Let's just
Yeah.
keep it real.
Yeah.
But two things. One, I want to interject. Thank you, Yasmin,
Mm-hmm.
for being vulnerable, telling us about Buddy, who was 19,
Shout
and
out.
bringing
Shout
life
out.
to you. And then, yes, you can absolutely come on next week. We have another guest, but the more the
Ryan.
merrier. And
Yeah.
yeah, he's a cosplayer too,
Right.
so it'll be
Yeah.
a party.
And he's actually going to be at Rhode Island Comic Con.
Kicking off Rhode
Yeah.
Island Comic Con, and I'll
Yeah.
just pretend I know what you guys are talking about. So there you go. but
Yo,
but
I
no,
really can't.
but two things I want to highlight that
Mhm.
I absolutely admire, appreciate about you, that I see really help you cultivate joy, but also I see inspire other people, particularly who are around you. One,
Mm.
even when you are challenged with achieving a said result or whatever, I've
Yeah.
never not see you cheer on your friends ever.
Real
So
shit. Real shit.
Bombshell Becky, who
Real
was
shit.
asked to do the New York runway
Oh my
for
gosh.
Comic Con.
So freaking proud of her, yo.
Yeah, your friend who I don't know who just was on the New York Times cover.
Oh, Leighton.
Boy, who
Leighton.
is, doing well at heart. Every
Shout
single
out to
time
Roy.
you and I talk about our weeks, because we catch up about our day and stuff, you are always celebrating the successes of other
Yeah.
individuals rather than focused on the like missing the goal that you have in that. And I think that's
Yeah.
a real beautiful gift you give to yourself, because it allows you to stay in gratitude and focused in joy because you're celebrating the win of your fellow man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I love that you bring that up because I mean, going back to Roy's situation, he's been killing it. Like the whole I think he's definitely like upped his game. Not that he didn't have it before, but he's been like locked in. You know what I mean? And I'm the type of person like if somebody's putting the work, I gotta give credit where it's due. Like I can't like half like it's just it is what it is. He's been putting the work. And the same thing with Becky on her, cosplay journey. Like she's doing so much stuff. And I even reached out to her for like how to do like edits and stuff. And she's very like cool about giving information. She's not a gatekeeper type of person that does that, you know what I mean? And then even going back to just people in general that I've been able to like shoot the stuff with and pick their brain on certain things. Like Leighton has been like, yo, we got to be applying for these badges. We got to make sure we try to get into these spaces that they need us there. And I'm like, yo, that's cool stuff. When you got friends motivating you that you've only met maybe once or twice and they just follow your stuff and they just like, yo, like you should be in these spaces. That's the cool stuff that you get to be a part of. You know what I mean? And it's like, it
Well,
reassures you
even
that
think
you're
about Tomba, right? Who hit you up while
yes.
we were at the where were we? Little Wayne concert, and he's like, "Yo,
Oh
you
my
need
gosh,
to
yo,
come
shout out
in."
to Tamba.
And Tomba, so we had you do push-ups
Yeah.
in the middle of the Little Wayne concert because
In the
Tomba
Mickey
was
Mouse
like,
outfit.
yeah, I think that it's interesting. Right before we jumped on this
Yeah.
show, I started watching a documentary because I love learning people on the
He
Lilith.
watches a lot of documentaries,
A
guys. Just so you
lot of
know.
yeah, but
But
it
it's
was
really
on
cool
a
stuff.
Lilith Fair, and it was an all-women's festival in the 1990s that was brought together by Sarah McLachlan because
Mm,
at the time, and I still see this sometimes, their collectives of women weren't being promoted, and we were taught to be divisive, like to
mm,
compare ourselves, to focus on me rather than the collective I. And that really changed the narrative of how the music industry would promote concerts moving forward, but also understanding from a vibrational perspective, from a
yeah,
pure energy. And if you study at all the universal laws, right, that every time we give, we receive.
yeah.
What are we giving? Are we giving out energy that comes from fear? Oh, I'm having a tough month at heart, so I'm gonna send out negative energy to the winners,
Mm,
the people who are winning. And
mm,
or are we going to choose to celebrate their successes even when we're challenged? And then how does that reflect back to us? And this is where I am very passionate about this show, because we create our reality based on how we internalize narratives and
correct.
stories. And so if we're celebrating others, we're celebrating ourselves, and that can only inevitably come back to support us in the long term.
And so when you also bring that up too, I know you asked me the question earlier about how have I been dealing with this month. You've been going through some challenging situations this month as well, haven't you? If I'm not mistaken.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nah, I mean, please, without a doubt, elaborate how you've been keeping your mental, in check in moments of just like vulnerability and just dealing with just the tough
Well,
times of life.
I think that it's really important to highlight to our community that part of really cultivating a joy-filled life is honoring our emotions in any given moment.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I experienced two personal losses this month. One was due to circumstances that, were just mind-boggling to say the least.
Mhm.
And so part of me staying in joy is to honor myself and honor my feelings and be vulnerable and, reach out to you and say, hey, babe, like I'm a hot mess express right now. And
Yeah.
I don't need you to fix me. I just need you to hold space. And allow myself to move through that grief, that emotion. I'm able to then cultivate joy. And again, you and me know, like we manifest a lot. So, like, the circumstances through which my loved one passed away, I literally, the universe was laughing at me because they sent
Oh
me a
my gosh.
stamped envelope with an awareness about this situation. And I had to call Nana and I was laughing because, again, it's funny. Like, yes, you just can't make this stuff up. So that's one thing. And the other
Yeah.
thing for me, and it's interesting you asked me this question because I thought about this the other day. I actually journaled about it.
Mhm.
For the most part, I wake up and I'm joy filled, but there are times when I'm not,
Yeah.
and so I have created non-negotiable disciplines and I call them devotions to self that I do every
Devotion to
morning
self.
without
Okay.
fail
Yeah.
that allow me to cultivate that resilient attitude. And so I wake up and I say my gratitude, I do my meditation, I do my breath work, I read scriptures, I study quantum physics, I work out, and before I end my my disciplines, I'm in a better mood. And I
Mm.
had this conversation with somebody earlier today. The energy we give out has to come back to us. So if I'm not grounded in love, then I am not only putting out negative energy to other
Yeah.
people, but that energy has to come back to me. So I'm not setting myself up for that. So I'm not moving from my room. I'm
Yeah.
not engaging with clients. I'm not engaging with my children. I'm not talking to you until I can ground myself in a state of
Shift
joy
that narrative.
and peace so that I know that what I'm putting out is going to be reflected back to me in an energy that I choose, that I
Mm.
cultivate for myself.
Mhm. Mhm. I mean, so going back to that point too is like there's other practices that you've also been incorporating as well too. Because I remember you were on the porch grounding in like just outside the house, just sitting on the dirt or whatever it is, or whether it's walking or whether it's at the gym. Like, how have these? I guess how have these moments have like helped to shift your narrative when you're in these like tough times? Like, how do you
Well,
go
I mean,
about that?
that's the thing, babe. You and I are very similar in that I'll be damned if I let life get the better of me. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like,
I feel
not
you.
for nothing,
I
but
feel
I was
you.
thinking about this the other day. I am I am my own favorite person. Like, I love you. I love our
Yeah,
kids.
you gotta love
Like,
yourself
I
first.
am my own favorite person. You know what I'm saying?
If you're
I
not
think
your
I'm
biggest cheerleader, who else is gonna cheer for you?
I'm saying, but secondly, I'm so hella proud of myself. I am like ridiculously proud of myself because I grew up on the streets. I grew up believing that I had to compete with everybody. I believed that I was worthless. And for me to have cultivated this unshakable ability to
Mm.
navigate unexpected circumstances in joy
Yeah.
is a real testament to my resilience in terms of grounding and walking. And I'm kind of like you, like you're not quitting, you're
Mm.
going into work tomorrow and you were going to put in 100% effort
As
until
always.
the day closes, and at the end you'll be able to look at what you did, and no matter what the result, you can hold your head up high and say, I showed up for myself. And that's what I do is I'm not going to sit and allow life to steamroll me. I'm going to continue to make choices that feel good for me because in doing so, I'm
Mm.
able to navigate the unexpected challenges that we're all going to face because life is change and life is
Correct.
loss and life
Correct.
is navigating unpredictability.
Yeah. I like that you brought that up because I was thinking about it today at work, right? I was like, man, like this morning I was going through it, like I mentioned earlier, right? Just it felt like everything was just against me this morning. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, yo, what is this? Like, this doesn't even make any sense. Why these things? Like, I had set things up to make sure it went smooth, and it just wasn't going smooth. But in my head, I'm like, I just have to tell myself, it's just a moment. Like, I just have to understand it's really just a moment. Like, I can't keep having this snowball. I gotta like just get rid of it while as I can, you know. And I just kind of thinking, I'm like, I just gotta smile through it, bro. Because at the end of the day, like, what am I gonna do? I can't control the registry with the person's name messed up, or the woman that canceled on us after we held the car for like a week and a half for her because she was waiting on a check from, like, it was one thing after another, and I was just like, dude, it is what it is. I just gotta just like smile. And there's an anime called My Hero Academia where one of the main characters, his name is All Might, and he fights this bad guy, and then like he wins the match, and he has his arms up, but he has a smile on his face. I kept on thinking about that in my head. I was like, man, that's kind of cool. Like, it's so random. Like that was a thing that came in my thought process, even though I was kind of like going through it work wise. I'm just like, okay, well, if All Might can do it, I can do it too. You know what I mean? Like,
I love
talk about
that.
heroes, like, it's so freaking hilarious.
Well, one of our loved ones has been going through it a little bit, and
Mhm.
they had said to me, you know, I can't believe, or I can't understand why every time this comes around, I struggle with this. And I lovingly challenged him. I said, well, you're asking the wrong question, in my opinion. I was like, why, how does that help you feel better? Like,
Mhm.
instead of asking yourself why you feel this way, ask yourself, what can I do to make myself feel better
Feel
in
better.
this moment? And
Yeah.
interestingly enough, I shared with the same individual 2 days later, smile. It immediately activates dopamine
Yeah.
response in your brain. It releases chemicals to make you feel better. So it really is part of having a really joy-filled life, is what choices are you making, and are you aware of the thoughts you're having around
Mhm.
your experience? Because if the experience, if you're in an experience like you, right, you
Yeah.
had 5 deals go backwards
Oh my
that night,
6. It's at 6 now.
6
We're just
deals
keeping
go
the scoreboard
backwards,
going.
registry,
Yeah.
right? You could easily be caught up in this mentality, woe is me. Oh, this is so unfair. Why is this happening? But instead of saying, why is this happening? Okay, well, how can I take what I'm going through and move through the day more empowered? And even
Yeah.
if you don't say more empowered, that's what you're doing, because as soon as you choose joy, your energy shifts.
Yeah.
It's a higher vibration, and you just empowered yourself.
Well, and I love it because I go up to Will, my team leader, obviously, and I looked at him, and we both just look just like, bro, what is this? Like, and I just looked at him, I just laughed because I'm just like, I don't know what else to tell you, but like, he sees that I put in the work. He sees that like every deal that we've lost this month, it's been like, how? Like, it just it's just one thing after another, but I'm like, well, we still gotta just get in front of the next person. Like, at the end of the day, like, we and I'm very big about, once I lose the deal, I just be like, okay, cool. Like, it's almost like it's out of my thought process. Let me go park the car up front so that the next person can be of use to it, or whoever is looking at that vehicle, and it doesn't hold anything up. I just very like, it's almost like I just cut ties with it, and not to like be petty, but it's just more like I just have to move on. I just can't like keep staying stagnant and be like, oh man, poor me, poor me, poor me. Yeah, poor me, but somebody's probably going through the same stuff as well too. Like, you know what I mean? So like, there's always some avenue that I can always shift my mentality towards, to be like, nah, like, I just gotta keep going. You know what I mean?
Well, okay, but like, here we go. Like, my study of theology and quantum physics, the
Mm-hmm.
reality is all we have is this moment anyway. And I've shared, I'm sure on this show, I definitely share with
Yonko?
uh, people, wisdom is avoiding all thoughts that weaken you.
Mm.
Right. So, and
Mm.
I said that the other day, right? As I alluded to, somebody I love deeply died in what I believe to be a pretty horrible way, right?
Yeah.
But I do not ruminate on that, because that could drive me cuckoo banana pants.
Yep.
Instead, I have chosen to celebrate this individual's life, to think about their smile, to think about how they played drums, to think about, you know, the wit that they brought to my life, right? And
Mm-hmm.
that is our superpower, is what are we putting our attention on? Is it weakening us? Is it causing us to feel gross, or are we feeling joy from it? And Listen, muscle testing, guys, kinesiology
Mm,
will tell you, your body will tell you whether you are weakening yourself or empowering yourself
right. So
just through a simple act of muscle testing. So, um, giving yourself permission
yeah.
to choose what feels good. And I think, I'll be curious to hear what your thoughts are, but I witnessed so many people struggle with just the ability to give themselves permission
Mm,
to feel good. Oh, this person died. I can't feel good. Well, why can't you? Like that, of
mm,
course you can do whatever you want. This person passed away. You got to go to the funeral. Well, why do I need to? Is that
mm.
going to bring me joy, or am I better served doing something else so that I can stay in a place of empowerment so that
Yeah,
I can serve other people or be present with our children,
yeah,
with my plants, with all this stuff,
yeah. Well, I mean, so going back to the even like the funeral thing, right? Because you and I have spoke about this on numerous occasions. I'm not a funeral type of person, and it's never to like literally like go at anybody or anything like that. It's just I just feel like that's like something that I have a hard time dealing with because I'm like very big about just making sure that I keep like a image
That's
of
so
somebody that
nice.
I have in my head. You know what I mean? So like that's the reason why like funerals wise, I always tell people I'm like I can show love in so many different ways. There's different ways that I go about it to show appreciation of the person. And it could be my way of like, I had a customer that bought a car for me and she passed away literally like a month and a half after she bought the car. And I was like, my commemorative way would be to try to just keep making an impact with selling cars. You know what I mean? That's my thing. Like keep changing that mentality of it. Even the other day I reached out, my grandparents, the one that her husband passed away, that you met him at the parade.
Yeah.
I called her, Carlene. I called her and I just left her a voice message. I just say, "Hey, Grandma, I love you. I just wanted to just at least check in and see how you're doing." She hasn't gotten back to me, but I felt good. Then in that moment, that was a call that I wanted to make, and I had to. It felt like it was like something in me was telling me just like at least reach out. You know what I mean? And who knows where the call might have went to or whatever it is. But like that's the thing is like I'm always trying to figure out ways to just try to just keep in a good mindset with everything going on. Like most people probably don't even know I'm having like a off month at work or whatever you want to call it. Because like even on like my Instagram, and it's not a facade that like I can't express my emotions, but like on my Instagram, I'm posting just random content that I really enjoy. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I work is work. My Instagram and social media, that's just me just being myself. You know what I mean? And I can speak upon it if I'm having a rough time or if I'm having a great time. You know what I mean? But it's more I have a lot of other stuff that makes me more happy. So I get to promote that. You know what I mean?
Well, two things. One, shout out to Tim for
Shout out
joining
to
and
Tim.
belching time.
Shout out
No
to Tim.
joke, like you lost me unless you're just trying to make me laugh, which is cool. And I've never been that person who can make myself belch on cue, but I don't know. Can you,
What
babe?
the frick?
I don't know. I was
No,
just
you're
saying.
wild. You're
But
wild for that.
secondly, like there's a couple things. So this show, particularly the Bright Side Chronicles, is all about joy. Part of joy is doing what feels right for you, despite the good opinion of other people. So I've always honored in our relationship the fact that you weren't going with me to a funeral because that didn't feel right for you.
Mm,
And that is the gift that we give ourselves as we stand in our truth. And, the second thing is to really experience a joy filled life, we surround ourselves with people who not only stand in their own truth, but can bear witness to
mm.
and support us as we stand in our truth, even if it doesn't make sense, right? There's things that I do, like walking in the woods at 3 a.m, makes no sense to you. It makes me
Yo.
happy. You never once said, babe, I'm worried about you don't walk in the woods. You just be like, oh, text me when you get home so
Yeah,
I
just
know
let me
you're
know.
fine.
Like, yeah. Understandable. I'm like, yo, go do your thing. Like, go. That's your therapy. You know what I mean? Like, if that's your therapy, it's the same thing if I go to the gym at 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, I just wanted to go to the gym at 4 a.m. in the morning. That's my therapeutic moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
So,
and again, that's how we live fully expressed lives. Like I think so if people don't realize the importance of a support system
Yeah.
that can honor you at all times without trying to change you. And you actually sent me something that I loved today,
Oh, the
and it was
thing on
by
Instagram?
Philosophy.
Philosophy. That page is fire. If you don't know it, it's on Instagram. It's so dope. It's just all like random, like just knowledge that I get to like see every morning, basically.
Yeah. Well, but it talked about the 5 stages of a relationship and how most people don't get
Like,
out
it
of the
has
second
two.
stage because they're so busy criticizing another individual once they
Mm-hmm.
realize their flaws and stuff. And not, listen, guys, I still have an ego, and I watched it and I'm like, damn, me and Nana at stage 5, like we win at this relationship.
Yo, shout out. We're
But
from second base to fifth base or whatever you're gonna call it.
yeah, but what the stage 5 was acceptance. It was
Yes.
choosing to do life with an individual without trying to change
Change
them.
them. Yup.
And it's so funny because when you sent that, maybe last weekend, I think it was, I asked you, I said, what are the things I do to annoy you? And you deadpan looked at me and you was like,
I had to
I don't
think about
think
it.
you do anything.
Yeah, because I was
And
like, I don't think so. I don't remember anything that really annoys me. Like,
But that's the thing, is because you and I don't stack up things against each other. Like
mm,
in a moment, I may feel some type of way, but I'm just like, hey, babe, like, can you focus on me instead of being distracted doing that? Or if I'm like cranky because I need coffee and you're like, oh, here we go. But like, you don't sit there and say every day, oh, babe's gonna be cranky because she hasn't gotten coffee. I'm like, oh, no, babe's not paying attention to me because he's busy with his cosplay stuff. No, we literally do live in the present moment, and as a result, we can support each other
yeah,
and we choose each other even amidst the really challenging times. And that is super rewarding for me because I know that I'm loved even if you do not agree with choices I'm making.
yeah.
I feel safe in that.
Well, there's a song. There's actually, it's so interesting. There's a song by I think it's like Kelly. No, I don't know. It's Akon and Kerri Hilson, and
Mm.
it's like it's basically about like trying to change someone, and it's like, why would you change me if this is what you signed up for? Basically, as
Yes.
in like you knew who I was after the honeymoon phase, because everybody has the honeymoon phase of like, oh my gosh, like this person loves me, yeah, 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 and then it's like a month later, you're like, okay, well now I'm figuring out this person, like, you know what I mean? So like once you get past that honeymoon phase, that second phase where people tend to like start faltering because it's just like, oh damn, like I didn't know. But then like that's also when you have to make a decision for yourself if you're willingly to accept the person for who they are and go with them, or if you just were like, okay, we're just on different paths. You know what I mean? And that's okay to do. That's human nature. Like you're okay to make a decision to be like, hey, this doesn't work for me, and that's just a discussion to be had. You know what I mean? Where some people, when it comes down to that tough conversations, they're not able to do that. But then you get stuck in the situationship where you've been with, so and so, and you know that you're not even happy in that situation, and you're just sticking there just to stick there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I've seen in my personal life with, family, friends, and I'm just like, man, like you can tell, like, and it's not. This is not to go at anyone, but it's just a reality check sometimes to just let people know, like, you can do better and chase your happiness instead of settling.
Yeah, you don't have, well, I think that part of living a joy-filled life, living the bright side of life at all times is not settling. When you
Mm,
settle, you're telling yourself that you're not worthy of having everything it is that you desire. And
mhm,
again, not to go all super spiritual on you guys, but we are created in creation and limitless. So if we're limitless, then why can't we have everything it is we desire? And moreover, why aren't we worth it? And
mm.
that's the bigger thing.
Mm.
And, you know, I know you know this because I feel like it was the first or second time you and me sat and talked. I said to you point blank, I outgrow people real quick
I
if they,
remember that.
yeah. And I said that out of respect. It wasn't a threat or something, but I think so often, you know, we feel guilty about growing and expanding. And it's not that I want anybody to expand and grow with me. Do you? But it's, we were never meant to be stagnant. And the people who like kind of They stop chasing their dreams, their goals. They stop dreaming about things they can accomplish, start to retract, they contract, and they start to play small. And having studied, psychology and philosophy and
Yeah.
stuff, I know that that directly impacts their energetic output. And I was just never willing to settle with anybody who wasn't joy filled, who had a
Yeah.
high vibration, who wasn't willing to do, try new things so that they can experience new ways of being.
Correct. And so going back to that point is, so one of my friends, she sent me something on Instagram today because she went to, what is it, Spirit Halloween or Halloween Spirit or whatever what it is.
Yeah,
And
Halloween.
she saw the Winnie the Pooh outfit. She saw the
Yep.
Winnie the Pooh outfit. So she sends me a picture. She's like, "Yo, I can't like unsee you." Basically, like saying like every time she saw that, she just thought of me in the outfit. And I was like, it's actually funny because that outfit is the reason why I have the one that I have, because that was the only thing that was available when we went to go grab it. So it's
The
just
one
like
with the dress.
the dress, yeah. So
Which
it's
is
just,
perfect anyway.
it's so funny because I was like, oh man, damn. Now I think about it, I'm like, that's gonna be like stuck in a lot of people's heads, right? Like of that moment, like this buff ass fucking Winnie the Pooh in the fucking dress, like this shit don't make any sense, but it's just funny because like she's seeing that, and I'm like, who else is seeing that? And that's actually promoting them as a company, which is even more funnier because it's just like, yo, like I saw this at a con and I thought it was funny, so like I might just grab this one for myself, you know what I mean? So like I just thought it was just interesting, but that made me happy because I was just like, it was kind of the time frame at work where I was kind of like going through it, and then she sent that, and I was like,
Yeah.
yo, that shit is mad funny. I started laughing. I'm like, I can't not be like going through life anymore after that. So it was just freaking hilarious.
Well, there's two things I want to touch upon to that. One, we're all each other's miracles, guys. And so earlier today, I was working with an individual, and towards the end of the call, they stopped me and they were like, I can't even begin to express my gratitude for you. And the thing is what I stopped and I said to them, because I said, I mean, I want you to express gratitude towards yourself. You show up for the calls, you show up and do the work. You don't have to do anything that I, encourage you to do. But they were like, no, but I really want you to understand how grateful I am. But what I said to them is, I am honored and humbled as equally as they are grateful. I'm grateful to have the opportunity and privilege to be able to bear witness to them. That's a miracle to me. And so on days when I may be having a moment, undoubtedly, a friend of mine, somebody I'm working alongside with, you, some person out of nowhere will send me something. And I always laugh and I'm like, thank you, universe. You sent me the exact thing I needed at that exact moment to bring me back to the present moment to make a different choice. So I really, really love that. The second thing, I'm curious, not curious, I want to share around joy is the importance of play. And you and me play with each other all the time.
Hey, yo, hold on.
Figuratively,
but hey, yo.
I was talking to my friend today. And I was telling this individual, because they're in a relationship, I said, yesterday I went to pick up Nana from work and he was standing outside.
Oh, nah, that's just funny as hell.
And so I rolled down my window and I look at him and I was like, hey, you good looking, any chance you're interested in going on a date? And he's like, nah, I got a girl. And we had this come back and forth.
I had to check you real quick.
And then he picks up his phone and he's like, hey, babe, this is
this chick just trying to hit on me at work right now.
Right? And but the thing is, we have fun all the time. Like, we are silly and we just have a good time with each other. And it's because we're very comfortable in that space of play. So what would you want to share with the listening audience around the importance of play, not only in your own life, but within relation to us being a couple?
I mean, it's actually funny that you bring this up because somebody had messaged me this morning. His name is Ben. And he had basically said, I think I posted something on Facebook where it said something like, what was it? It was like along the lines of like, somebody always cares about you. It's not me, but it might be somebody else. But I was like, I'm just kidding. I'm just sending you love. And he messaged me. He was like, yo, like, thank you for the post that you put up, because he was going through some tough times, and it's just like that was just funny to him, and it was just cool to have him just like speak his piece on it. You know what I mean? So I thought it was a really cool moment. But going back to play with you and myself, I think that's so important because, like, you know, I get it, relationships are serious, you know, to a certain extent. Like, you have to obviously nurture and communicate with each other constantly, in a sense, because you want to make sure you're on the same page. You know what I mean? And it's not that like somebody has to be on your case every 24/7, but it's just like letting people know, like, hey babe, I'm gonna be gone for this weekend. I'm gonna be at a con. So like, good luck figuring things out. And I'm just kidding. But like, you know, I mean, or even if we're making like a skit or some sort of like, hey babe, I made 6 figures. You know what I mean? Like, all that stuff is part of play. It's part of what makes you human, because I think too many times it's always the lovey-dovey aspect of it. And it's like, yeah, but like there's also just more like I'm gonna just hang out with my best friend type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's the other part where sometimes I feel like it gets lost in translation, because it's like you almost have to put up the same, like, everything's all good and some you know, what is it, butterflies and rainbows or whatever it is, but like it's just more like just being just authentic to yourselves, and you just get to show it to people and be like, yo, we really just live our lives. Like, so many times people are like, yo, like, you and Kerri are, like, Tyler would say it, he's like, yo, you and Kerri need to like make your own TV show or some shit like that. And I'm like, bro, this is a regular life with this one. Like, it's not like a facade. Like, we just do shit because we want to. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, I want to add on to that, because what people don't realize is the higher your vibration, the more you're able to tap into creativity instantly. So literally, Nan and I can be together and he'll be like, babe, this is what I think I'm doing for this
Yeah.
reel or whatever. And then
Yeah.
instantly I'll be like, oh, but what if you add this, this, and this? And so
Yes.
because
Yes.
because you and I don't live in a space of anxiety, because anxiety is a very dense energy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Anxiety is that fear of how you're going to be perceived, what's going to happen, you know, like, will you be accepted, blah, blah, blah. We pour, like, we really are tapped into the creative consciousness, and it's a collective consciousness. So
Yeah.
we feed off of that energy all the time. So everything we create literally is authentic in that
Yes,
spontaneous.
it
It doesn't,
is.
you and me very rarely are like, okay, let me come up with this script. Hell no. We're like, hey, want to do this? And you're like,
And it's
okay,
just improvised. It's all
yeah,
about
all the
improvising,
time.
you know what I mean? Like, and I love that you brought that up, the whole, like, you know, the positivity creates like creativity, because that's how I feel like when I'm at a con. I feel like I'm literally like, I'm just like, I have this moment where I look up and I'm like, oh dude, I'm gonna be here for like 4 days, 3 days. Like, I'm gonna come up with some funny ass moments that I can just like put it out to the world. Like, and that's what it felt like when I was in New York. You know what I mean? Like, New York Comic Con, like hanging out with some top content creators, hanging out with some celebrities, quote unquote, hanging out with like artists and vendors and just like regular people that just like you can just have a moment to just be a goof with them. You know what I mean? And that creativity hits like an all-time peak when I'm at these things, because it's like, oh man, like, not even for like shock value wise, but like, how can
You
I
can
just
talk
keep
that. You're fine.
creating like memories with people at this event, so then when they come back next year or whatever it is, they can be like, oh man, like, I had this moment over here and I just remembered this happened, yada yada yada. Like, even like when I went there this year, there's people that met me last year that I hadn't talked to in damn near like a year, but they just were like, oh shoot, you're the guy that was like SpongeBob last year, right? And I'm like, yeah. And it's just cool, like, to just have those little moments. Or somebody comes up to you like, oh my gosh, I follow you on TikTok and I love your stuff, keep posting your random stuff. And I'm like, dude, you're asking the right person, because I'm gonna keep posting random stuff. Like, that's like, I am random. That's like the perfect example of who I am. So yeah.
Well, so going back to the relationship thing, because I think this is a very important piece to highlight for people.
Mhm.
We could not have what we have if we didn't love ourselves and
Absolutely.
prioritize ourselves
Absolutely.
first, you know, and I think that's where I see relationships become a little bit more charged, is when we seek comfort or we seek our self-worth and our value
Mm.
in our spouse and a significant other, or even in our children and our career, right? When you seek your value, your self-worth externally in anything, you're a slave to that thing. And so I know you and I both, we feel pretty strong. And there are times, right? You know, I have moments of insecurity.
Yeah, same.
I'm 45, all different things. But generally speaking, I'm a really confident person. And when I do struggle with that confidence, I tend to keep myself away from you, and right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's so I don't project and like impose the work that I have to figure out on myself
Yeah.
on you, because it's not your job to help me do that.
Correct. I think that's where it's the communication part, right? Because you're like, hey babe, I'm going through this like tough time in life, and I just need a day to just like be to myself. And I'm like, okay, I understand. At least you let me know. What I
Yeah.
mean? Where like sometimes that comes perceived as like, oh, I can't help out to other people, but I'm me personally, we've had all these discussions, and you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna go like just be in my moment for a day or two, or what I mean. And I'm like, that's okay. I'll just send you love whenever I can, and if you can respond, great. If you can't, great. It doesn't change the dynamic that you have because you're going through life, and I'm giving you space to figure it out for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think also our job as partners to
Yeah.
other individuals is not to fix things for them. And I think that is
I am not Tim the Tool Man, bro. I'm good. Bob the Builder looking at us, right? That's
no,
what you
but
cosplay.
seriously.
Bob the Builder. I might have to throw that shit on. Okay, no, I'm
Oh
playing.
man. Oh, there you
Nah,
go. There's the cosplay for you,
nah.
Bob the
Bro,
Builder.
I'm
We
at
gotta
like
get you
30
a
something
hard hat
cosplays right
though.
now.
You gotta get a we'll get you a hard hat and a tool belt. Listen, you want
Nah,
a
that's
tool
crazy.
belt?
That sounds like an
Yeah,
OnlyFans
forget
model,
about it.
bro.
Now we're talking about playing.
Hey, yo, what are you playing? Monopoly in the bitch? Nah, I'm playing.
Nope. We role playing
Hey,
behind closed
yo.
doors.
I'm building them doors, right?
Give me 13 minutes.
You get.
Oh, so go knock and tell Jules. Do you mind? Okay, thank you. Um,
You get.
what was I gonna say? Well, no, I mean, I'm just saying you can be Bob the Builder and
Hey,
and
hey,
fix
yo, relax.
my
Hold it
pipes.
smart. Nah. That's a Mandingo plumbing. We lit in pipes. You know what I mean? What you talking about? That's,
Oh my God,
yo,
you're so funny. Okay, but no,
nah, good.
but that's the other thing. I
Yeah,
I love that we are unscripted and unfiltered, because that to me is the definition of authenticity. And I share with people often that for me, and this is just my understanding, is authenticity is allowing the present moment to unfold without filter. And
correct.
so often we limit ourselves because we filter ourselves. And oh no, we're doing a live, so I can't tell my brother, hi, come down the stairs or whatever. Oh no, we're doing
Nah,
a live, so I can't talk about Bob the Builder handling my plumbing. Of course I can. I can do whatever I want. And because
yo,
I do that, I'm fully expressed. I'm honoring myself. I'm honoring you. And now there are some people who don't appreciate
yeah,
mine and your humor, but that's okay. They don't have to. And that I hold
correct,
nothing against them.
correct.
All you got to do is click swipe right and move on to the next whatever.
What is it? Tinder? Swipe left, swipe right.
I've never been on Tinder in my life.
I mean, there was like a phase, but like as soon as I
I know,
found
but
out,
I'm 9 years older than you. So, but
nah.
when I was dating, I mean, I had to pick you up from a friend or a bar or
You
a
doing the real life Tinder. You weren't on the phone just
yeah,
swiping.
yep.
Nah,
I have never done a dating app actually, but I did
yeah,
pick
no.
you up at a gas station. So clearly I'm doing something right.
You probably swipe right. You know what I mean? It just could
No,
have been
I
swipe
swipe.
right.
Is it
Swipe left.
right or left?
I
I
don't
swipe.
know this. I don't know this shit anymore, bro. Like, I think it's swipe right. I think swipe right is like swipe left is like nah. You get left behind, and then swipe right, you pick the right choice. You know what I mean? Maybe it could be that. See the
That
wordplay?
is so
Left
funny.
behind, right choice. Okay, that's besides the point. But Oh my gosh, I had a thought in my head. It'll come back to me. I can't think of it right now, but I think it had to do with, you know what? No, it had to do with, so one of the moments today that brought me a sense of happiness. This is like switching paces right off the bat. Was in the morning. I'm at the gym, putting in work, working hard, whatever it is, and my niece Alexis sends me a picture of my little nephew in a Blippy outfit. And I'm literally in the gym just smiling like the whole time as I have freaking like 50-pound dumbbells in my hand. And I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this little dude that's like with his little top hat and his little suspenders and his pair of Jordans, gray pants, and a blue shirt, and then the orange like, bro was so cool. Like, shout out to Ozzy. That made my day because it was just like so adorable just to see him. Like, and I'm like, hey, bro, that man about to take somebody's wife. I'm saying he about to finesse it.
Well, he's adorable and I love him. And he was actually sitting with us right before we went on
Yeah,
live, and
yeah,
then played hide and go seek with his mama because he didn't want to go to bed. But I actually, so going back to wrap it up, because we have 10 minutes,
yeah, yeah,
kind of giving strategies or maybe insights around joy.
yeah.
You and I do best grateful every time that we go
Oh,
to bed together.
oh, we doing that? We doing that?
Well, no, we can, but what I
Ooh,
was gonna say is, you know, when our girls were young, trying to get them to talk about school was like pulling teeth. It was awful at the dinner table. So I came up with this strategy, having them say the best part of their day, the worst part of their day, and something they're grateful for. Well, what I quickly realized was a lot of times, and this is makes sense because of how our brain goes,
mm-hmm.
people would focus on the worst part of their day. So I
Yep.
said, well, screw that. We ain't doing no best, worst grateful. We doing best grateful. So I want to hear about two of your best parts of the day
Yeah.
and what you're grateful for. And since then, you and I, every time we go to bed, we say to each other what our
Yeah.
best parts of our day and what we're grateful for. So do you want to do that, or do you want to share how that impacts you or why you like it or whatever? I don't
I
really
mean, I'll
care.
do both of them. I'll do so how it impacts me. I mean, it just gives a little like reality check of how your day was. You know what I mean? Because I think both of the times like we're just caught up in go through the day and then that's basically it. And there's even times where I've even forgotten what I did throughout the whole day until like I digress and think about it. I'm like, man, I did a lot today. Like even yesterday, I even almost forgot to tell you that I haven't sold a car because I was like
I
so
know.
locked in on whatever I needed to accomplish in that moment that I forgot about it. Which then leads into or spills over to today being my best grateful was. I mean, one of my best moments today was definitely having the gentleman that bought the car yesterday come in excited because he was like, "Holy shoot, we got this car way earlier than he thought it would be," and he put a deposit yesterday afternoon. The car was here literally like 24 hours after the fact of it, and so like to see his face lit up when he saw the car and the truck and everything. He's like, "Oh my gosh, you guys really got this, and you found me the exact vehicle that I was looking for." That would definitely be one of my best moments today. Obviously, I just mentioned earlier was seeing Aziel like in his little get up. That made me super excited because I was just like, "Who is this little dude, bro? Like he's just so cool." And like seeing him on here briefly and seeing the family got me. That would be one of my other best moments as well. And then grateful wise is I'm grateful for our podcast. In all honesty, like I can go through like the day, but I get excited to look forward to being able to shoot the stuff with whoever we have. If we have a guest, I'm beyond excited. If we don't have a guest, then we get to do this and have it a freestyle. You know what I mean? But I look forward to the Bright Side Chronicles because I think people, need a little space to just like shoot the stuff whenever they want or just type in whatever it is and tap in. So I look forward to this.
I love that so much.
Appreciate you.
And well, I appreciate you too. Um, a side note for anybody out there who may want to consider incorporating like best grateful
You
or
should.
some type of practice. If you're doing it right before you go to bed, think about what you're focusing on as you go to sleep and what you feed your brain you're sitting on.
Consider.
So, it's training your brain. Secondly, gratitude has been proven to rewire your neural pathways. So we have a reticular activating system right here in your prefrontal
Yeah.
cortex. And it is like your GPS. If you're focused on things you're grateful for, your brain is going to seek more experiences for you to be grateful
Yeah.
for. So, really being able to make sure that you take a moment to reflect on the things, again, it goes back to the beginning of this call. And what we choose to focus on, we create more of. And so, why wouldn't we choose the things that we experience that brought us more
Yeah.
joy? So, and with that, one of the best parts of my day was I was able to replant my beautiful babies. So Nana knows I'm a plant freak. I love
Plant
my
mom, plant
plants.
mom,
I am.
plant
Yep.
mommy.
And
That's what it
actually,
is.
we just got 4 more aloe babies, and Nana named them Swaldo because they all have names. We have Rengoku
Yo,
and Lily. And anyway, Swaldo is
Swallow the
the
Aldo,
newest
the aloe.
part of our family because Nana is Swaldo, and he creating a little offspring of aloe, evidently. um, Another best part of my day, truthfully, right now, watching Julia's friend come in the house, and I love seeing teenagers come up and in and out of this home, because that has been something that was really important for my twin sister and I to cultivate, was a safe place for people to feel seen, heard, and
Yeah.
accepted despite whatever, and just come here and be at ease and chill. So that really, really makes my heart happy. And I, like you, am super, super grateful for the Bright Side Chronicles, and our conversations with each
Mm,
other, which always inspires and uplifts me, with our listening audience, for everybody who showed up and supported us today by either commenting or
yeah.
watching. We super appreciate you, Tim,
Yeah.
Bonnie,
Yasmin. Yeah.
Jen,
Yeah.
Yasmin. Yep, we're super grateful. And then what else am I grateful for? Truthfully, I'm grateful that each moment is a new opportunity to reset and make a different
Mm,
choice. And you and I talk about this a lot. I love the fact that I am empowered to reset right now. We have free will for a
yeah.
reason. And with free will, I can choose to suffer or I can choose freedom. And I am surrounded by people who remind me that freedom feels much
Right.
better than focusing on what doesn't feel good.
Correct. 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 But
Any parting
I
words?
mean, parting words wise, yeah, actually, you know what? It would probably be, um, this message will go to anybody that's been dealing with a lot of challenges as of late. Understand that these are just challenges that you just have to just go through life in general, right? Like, it's not always going to be the end all be all, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There really is. And the light is you. Like, literally, if you can shift that mentality and just understand that, like, you are going to get through it, it will always happen because you just will it to happen. So anybody that's going through it, reach out to people, like, touch in with your friends, make sure you check in on them, make sure that they're in a good mental space, because people are going through stuff behind closed doors. And I thought about it because I'm like, man, if I'm going through stuff and I'm pretty upbeat about life in general, think about somebody that's also going through it that's not there yet. You know what I mean? So checking on your friends and make sure that you just, a simple hello goes a long way. Making a simple call, shooting simple text, just check in and make sure people are good. That's all.
I love that. And with that, guys, this has been episode 33 of the
33.
Bright Side
Larry
Chronicles.
Bird.
Isn't that great? Okay. Next week, as you guys saw in the beginning, we'll have Yasmin and
Zach. I said Zach. Ryan.
Ryan,
Yes.
both cosplayers who are showing their stuff at
Yes.
Rhode Island Comic
Shout
Con,
out.
which is when, babe?
It is November the 7th to the 9th. I will be a cosplay guest, including my friends is Becky, Hector, Yasmin is hosting the panel as well too, which is actually pretty badass. So I got to make sure I make time for that. Shout out to Kenneth, shout out to Pikachu. Dang, who else is on the Anma art? Like, there's so many big names, and it's gonna be a great weekend. Shout out to Connor for letting me tag along. Shout out to Drew for letting us crash at her place, because that just saved your boy some rent. No, but like, I think it's gonna be a great time. We're gonna mesh with so many different people, and I'm actually looking forward to it because I got challenged, babe, to a push-ups meetup. I got put in that, which is bizarre in a good way, but like, I guess we're all meeting up to do some push-ups on that Saturday at like 11:45 by the flagpole. So just throw them there.
All right, so 11:45. If you guys want to see
I'm gonna be
a
Abby.
push-up
I'm gonna be Abby from
challenge,
K-pop Demon Hunter.
I'm
Yeah,
just
so we're gonna do some
saying,
push-up.
it's worth the price of a
Yes.
ticket to see Nana do some push-ups. I know, I've witnessed it firsthand.
Nah.
So, all right, guys, until next week, thank you
Yo,
all for
appreciate y'all.
joining. We will catch you on the flip
On
side.
the bright side, not